Ever feel like finding real love in the gay community is harder than it should be? You're not alone. In this video, I'm breaking down the 3 essential steps to help you attract the kind of relationship that lasts. By the end, you'll know exactly what to focus on to meet someone who's truly looking for love and how to make sure you are ready when that person shows up. Let's start with what this video isn't going to tell you to do. I'm not here to tell you that you need to get perfect abs or move to the trendiest neighborhood or spend thousands on cosmetic procedures. I see so many guys thinking that's what's missing for them. So, rest assured, you don't need to transform into some Instagram perfect version of yourself with carefully curated selfies and a sudden obsession with anti-aging creams. Look at it this way. I get hundreds of comments on my videos from guys who have found lasting love, who've been in relationships for decades, and guess what? They didn't do any of those things. The secret to finding love isn't about changing who you are. It's about changing how you approach looking for it and how you approach yourself. And that's what we're going to talk about here. The first step is to forget that tired advice that says, just stop looking and love will find you. Really? That's like saying if you're jobless, just stop applying and a job will magically appear. If you're not finding love, a much more realistic and effective way of dealing with it is to change how you're looking, not stop looking altogether. Here's what I mean. There's a world of difference between being desperate for love and being serious about finding it. When you're desperate, you're coming from a place of lack. You feel incomplete, you're craving connection. And honestly, people can sense that from a mile away. And when you're in that headspace, even if you do find someone, what usually happens is you end up in an unhealthy relationship where you're both filling each other's voids instead of building something real together. You might end up staying with someone who's not right for you, just because it feels safer than being single. Now, when you're not desperate, but serious about finding love, you're coming from a totally different place. You're determined, you know your worth, and most importantly, you already have a life you love. So, if you're feeling like your life is incomplete without a partner, here's what you need to do first. Build a life that excites you, even without a relationship. It won't happen in one day, but you've got to start somewhere. Join that hiking group or choir you've been eyeing. Reconnect with those old friends you've been meaning to call. Start that passion project you've been putting off. Make your life richer, one step at a time. And when you have genuine connections and interests in your life, something magical happens. You stop approaching potential partners with that energy of, please complete me, and start showing up as someone who's already whole, just looking to share their amazing life with someone special. That's when you can focus on finding someone who truly complements your life. But where would you find him? Before we dive into that, I want to invite you to subscribe to my private newsletter, where I share exclusive insights about gay dating and relationships that you won't find anywhere else. The link is in the description. Now, let's talk about where to actually find a genuine, lasting connection with someone who truly complements your life. Here's the hard truth. If searching for love means spending hours on Grindr and Scruff trying to dodge unsolicited dick pics, then you probably already know you're not in the right place. Think about it. When an app's main feature is a menu of photos and stats, what kind of connection is it really designed to create? Instead, a better strategy would be to focus on platforms that prioritize personality over pictures. Apps like Hinge and Bumble have actually thought about this. They give you space to show who you are beyond photos. They have prompts that help you share your values, your interests, your sense of humor. What's important is that you let your personality shine through, so you can attract the right match. Now, I know what some might be thinking. Dating apps are hopeless, but that's just not true. I've seen it work, both in my own experience and for countless couples who met their perfect match online. The key? They use these apps as tools for meaningful connections, not as a digital meat market. So if you're there with serious intentions, you bet there are others too. But don't limit yourself to just apps. There are so many other opportunities, whether it's local LGBTQ social events, interest-based groups, or community organizations. The key is to put yourself in spaces where you can connect with others who share your values and interests. So now you'll be around like-minded people where you'll be seen and appreciated for who you are, not for your profile pics. And when you're engaging with people naturally around shared interests and values, that's where the most authentic connections often develop into something more. The final piece of this puzzle is something that often gets overlooked: emotional availability. But before we start wondering about someone else's emotional availability, let's take a moment to look inward. When we're completely honest with ourselves, it takes courage to ask, are we truly ready to be vulnerable with someone? When you meet someone interesting, do you find yourself putting up walls, or are you open to letting them see the real you, including the parts of your life that might be complicated, like difficult family relationships or insecurities you usually keep hidden? Can you share the parts of yourself you're still working on? Being emotionally available means being willing to take risks, to share your authentic self, and yes, sometimes getting hurt. It also means being honest about what you want, communicating openly, and being willing to work through challenges instead of running at the first sign of difficulty. If you find yourself keeping people at arm's length or always finding reasons why potential partners aren't perfect enough, it might be time for some real self-reflection. Remember, finding true love isn't about changing who you are. It's about approaching the search with intention, looking in the right places, and being emotionally ready when the right person comes along. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe to help spread the message to other people who might need to hear it. And also drop your comments below to share your own experiences. I'd love to hear from you. Until the next video.